Let's wait for YouTube to kick in, because I'm streaming to YouTube and to Twitch right now. Turn that off. That's running. What am I forgetting? So we're going to run some just some basic quick benchmarks, and then we're going to run some games in DX12. Let's grab the 20 bomb. Have a bit more action in it. We like the action. Gameplay. When does it get busy? It gets busy about there. So what time is that? 11 minutes in. So 11 minutes in, and that goes to about 13, 14 minutes. Okay. So we go between 11 to 14. Maybe 11:30. So what's 11 times 60, please, someone? 660 plus 40. So we're aiming for about 700 seconds, yeah? T minus 700 seconds. That should take us to right at the beginning of the action. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I'll run this replay a couple of times. I run it once on performance mode right now. You can tell I'm in performance mode because down there it says D3, D11, so DX11. When that says D12, that's DX12. So performance mode is DirectX 11 with all those graphics kind of stripped down. So yeah, so I'll run it through once in each. So in performance mode at the moment, I'll run it once, rewind it to 700 seconds again, run it again. That second go will be my result, my benchmark for performance mode. Then I'll restart for DX12, run the same replay, the same exact timestamps again, and we'll run 2 there as well, so it creates the cache, and then the second one, it's got the cache and it shouldn't have any, should be consistent. Right, so we're going to run those, and then after that, I'm going to run some games in DX12 to see how stable it is, because I've been crashing. I've been using DX12 for a month or 2 now, so I'm going to see if it's any better than it was when it was crashing. So let's go. Right, so we press spacebar and then we press start recording. Ready, steady, go. This is only 3 minutes.
Started.
See that blank? Totally blanked. And I hit him there. Getting so many shotgun blanks at the moment. So many, and they're killing. I'm dying in games because of it. The worst one is the blooming Maven accelerator. More minutes left, and we'll rewind this, run it again. I'm only doing 3 minutes because otherwise it takes too long to run a test run and create cache. And then, normally I'd run like 5-10 minute tests, but no one wants to sit through having to wait for the shader cache to run the first time. It's really annoying. Hey, thanks for the follow, Bam. How you doing? Right, a minute left. I mean, it shouldn't be too bad this first run because I've been running on performance mode for a few weeks, so most of the shader cache should already been created. 37 seconds. And then we'll rewind. In the meantime, I opened a support case with Scuff on the brand new Envision, saying how rubbish the response times were, how much jitter there was. Well, that was kind of last week. I still haven't heard back from them, and they're meant to answer it within 24 to 48 business hours, and they haven't. They actually said on their reply that they were obliged to answer it within that time frame. Right, we're done. Let's rewind. See. Go back to 700 seconds. Wait for the FPS to stabilize a little bit. 240, ready, so you go. Right, so this is the actual recording now. So the first one was just to create some cache. That was totally blank. What is going on with shotguns? All shotguns seem to be doing it. I mean, it's not like I could have missed that. I mean, he had nowhere to go left or right, and I timed it so it would be where he was. So it's not like that there was like server lag or something, or ping compensation. It's just blanking. It's just a code problem. Crazy. So you can see down the bottom as well, where it says MRR, which is monitor refresh rate. I've got it on fixed rate, so it's just 360 Hertz. If I was running G-Sync, then that amount would be matching the FPS down there, 240 odd in green, greeny yellow. But because I'm running fixed refreshed, it's always running at 360. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with this controller. I mean, it's nice in the hands. It feels solid, but I'm finding that pedal too stiff though, which is my switch mode when building. And I did a Team Rumble the other day with it, and I got cramp in my finger. My finger actually got cramp, and I couldn't press it anymore in the middle of a fight. And I was trying to like box up, and I couldn't do it. Which is not good. I think what it is, I think you can choose between having, basically with these scuffs, because they've got like an inner paddle and a right, I think you're meant to use the same finger for both of them, whereas it's not like the kind of Xbox ones where you have one finger there and one finger there and then the last finger there. So I do prefer having two fingers off of the paddles completely, because then it gives you a bit more kind of stability when you're shooting and everything else, having two just gripping fingers. But I don't know, it's just a bit tight doing it from there to there, so I don't know which way to do it. I prefer the like Xbox Elite layout where you've got two distinct paddles and they are for two different fingers. That is the best paddle solution that I've ever used. So if I was ever designing my own controller, that's what I'd copy. Right, not that you could copy, right, because it's copyrighted. Right, so that's done. Let's look at the results. So this is our baseline. So we got performance mode, replay 1, and performance mode, replay 2. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at 2. Yeah, nice and smooth. I mean, frame times, if it was bad, it'd be in the hundreds, but I mean, that's fine. That's probably when it's just doing a garbage collection, to be honest. The FPS don't go up and down too much. They go up and down a bit, but not much. To 180, that's fine, but mostly clinging to the baseline, so that means the FPS is set at the right place. This is clearly a tough replay because normally when I run in game, it's actually much closer to 240, that average. 230 is quite low. Normally they look more like this, like 237, 239. That's what they normally look like I'm almost hugging the baseline there. But obviously, it depends on the replay. It depends what you're looking at the time, because obviously bits of the map are not optimized like other bits. But anyway, that's a really good stuttering. That's an excellent stuttering value. It was a bit higher the first time I ran it. It's exactly the same replay, but because it's creating some cache. So this is why I run things through twice, because the first one I discard, and the second one I then use as the reference. Yeah. So let's put it into DX12 gear and restart Fortnite and then run the same replay test again. So settings, DX12. I'll leave everything else the same. Apply and test. Restart now. No, it's running. I'm going to click on it. It auto restarts, isn't it? Yeah, that's a tough replay. It's obviously looking over that ledge at a lot of area. So it's having to render a lot of the jungle, which is not great on your FPS. One thing I didn't spot there was that easy anti-cheat when it started, or was it Battle Eye? I think it was EAC. Because that makes a difference too. Right, so let's just check these settings, make sure they look okay. Yep. Pump us boost, disabled, off. Yeah, that's fine. They're all off. Don't want to know that nonsense. Textures high is the only thing I've got up, which helps move some work from the CPU to the GPU, so that's exactly what you want for Fortnite. Alright, so let's go into the replays. Careers, replays. Find the replay that we were using before, same replay. CPU max. Why is that doing that 100% down there? It's a new thing with DX12. They're absolutely maxing out. What's it doing right now? Doing something it shouldn't be doing. It should not be sitting on 100% like that. Really shouldn't. Pause. Time. 700, please. Gameplay. Right. I mean, look, that should not be seeing 100% CPU. Really. What's going on? I'm even getting audio cutouts. That not good. It's not doing any progress. Look, every single one of those is maxed. Battle Eye. The Battle Eye service is going mental. Not EAC. Battle line. Yeah, it's BE. That should not be running at 100%. Let's come down a little bit now, but why is it doing that? Never used to do that. Maximum it used to get into the 80s. See, now it's come down. I mean, what was it doing there? Was it loading stuff in the background? I don't know, but now I'm literally not doing anything I wasn't doing a couple of minutes ago, and look, the CPU is now stabilized at about 85. So what was Fortnite doing to get 100% there that it isn't doing now? Worrying. Oh, look how stuttery it is.
Capture started.
Oh my goodness, look at it. 9s, I'm getting 9s. Oh my god, it's horrible. What's going on with DX12? This used to be so much smoother than performance mode. What have they done? Is it all that it's just loading shader cache and it's just really slow? I mean, I've been looking at why BitLocker on Windows 11 latest updates has gone making hard drives really slow, and it's because Microsoft has switched to software encryption instead of hardware encryption, and it's made everything like 43% slower, I read. But that's on by default for Windows 11 Pro. If you've got a Pro version, you've got BitLocker on by default normally. Take it off. But if you're running the Home Edition, it doesn't come with BitLocker, so which is what I'm running. Well, it shouldn't have that problem. It's making me think what else Windows is doing. God, this is awful. Let's see how it is on the second run after the shader cache is making me think that there's a problem with the disk. Trying to create those files for the shaders. Look how stuttery that is. 9% down there. That's crazy. There's 60 seconds on this. That's it, right? It's so bad. This used to be such a good mode. This is the default for Fortnite now. I mean, how have they messed it up this badly? Seconds, then we can rewind and run it again. I definitely seem to have got rid of recoil. Yeah, I'm not jumping up at all on that. Right, time 700 again. Right, so we should have all shader cache created for this segment. So now let's do 100% again. What's going on? Right, let it stabilize a little bit. Now when we run it, hopefully it should be smooth.
Capture started.
But that was horrific. I've never seen it better. That is a blank. I mean, I don't suppose Epic really cares. They only really seem to care about build modes for content. So if pros were getting this amount of blanks, which they might be, but then all they have to do is close the edit and then shoot again. I mean, they've got protection. In a zero build, you're left high and dry if you miss a shotgun shot or you get blanks. It's just dead because the other person's doing damage to you and you can't defend yourself. It takes a week to bring out shockwaves. That's massively impacts zero build mode more than those build mode because you've just got no defense. You can't instantly reset a wall or build a wall to cover yourself after you fired a blank. Can't do that in zero builds. You're just standing there while the other guy shoots you in the face. I know Ninja made a video about it the other day, saying that I can't believe this is still happening in 2023. Blanking shotgun shot. I don't know how much Epic listens to Ninja anymore. 60 more seconds. Does seem a bit smoother now. See, the CPU is much better. Look, 88, 83, 92, 91, 88, 87, 86. It's not maxing out. It seems to be maxing out when it's trying to write to disk for creating shaders. So I'm wondering whether there's a problem between the disk drives and the CPU. I know I did change the priority of the controllers for the disk from high to undefined. And maybe that's it. Maybe I need to change that back. They did benchmark alright. I don't know. We're nearly done. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Right. Let's have a look at it. that first DX12 one is going to be horrific. DX12 look at how red that is. Replay 1. Stuttering 5%. That's mental. That's unplayable is what that is. Okay, so there we go. So we're now going to compare the second performance mode one to the second DX12 one and see what they are. Right, so the one in the yellow is a measure, it's the standard deviation. So the smaller that is, it's a measure of how smooth the gameplay is. So a lower number, smoother gameplay, because the FPS is not all over the place so much. So from this, performance mode wins on the smoothness. It's got, look, identical 1% lows, but DX12 is getting a bit more average. Look, 234 instead of 230. So DX12 from this is getting more FPS. Let's have a look, compare the input lags. Have a look at this. So that's DX12 14.6 and performance mode will be a bit higher, yeah, 15.1. So it's about half a millisecond more input lag on performance mode than DX12 from this. Half a millisecond more input lag. What I'm more worried about is, you know how this doesn't get above 30 odd, so look, nice and smooth. We'll have a look at this. Yeah, look, you're getting a couple of massive latency spikes. What happens during those massive latency spikes? Goes down a bit. It does look more consistent on the baseline, doesn't it? FPS wise, it looks like it's there more slightly. I mean, look, some big horrible gaps here, and this just don't exist there. There's a horrible gap there, but that's there as well in performance mode. Remember, this is the same exact replay, the same exact timestamps. So DX12 does seem to fill in the gaps more. It's got more stuttering though, look. So 0.38 seconds compared to 0.11. So that's 3 times more stuttering on DX12 according to this. Over 3 times more stuttering. But the DX12 is giving you higher FPS. Let's overlay some CPU stats. Compare those. I mean, this thing here, when it's building shader cache, is just mind-blowingly bad. I think what we'll do is we'll get rid of these first throwaway replays so we can just compare them quicker and easier to put here and here. Right, now we can just switch between here and here. So that CPU total loads, like kind of around 90% for DX12. Much lower here, let's 70, 60-ish. Kind of averaging about 60-ish, but it's a bit worse at the end. Let's overlay these two as well. So the blue one is the blue line is the GPU load. So that's mostly around what, 65% for DX12. Look, half of that is at 35 for performance mode. So performance mode, your GPU is doing a lot less work. A lot less work. A lot less work. CPU wise, let's have a look at sensor data. Average loads 64 on performance mode and 80 on DX12. So you're getting more FPS, but you're putting more strain on your system. You're increasing your CPU load and your GPU load quite a bit. But you are, as a result of that, getting more FPS, lower drops, and better latency onto the sync. So 14.6 versus 15.1. But I do not like those frame time lags at all. They're horrible. Don't want them. Where was the max thread load? Okay, so no max threads got to 100 during the replay. It must have just been while it was creating the shader cache that it was hitting 100 a lot. I wish I hadn't deleted those other two now. I kind of want to look at the shader cache stuff. I'm definitely not running BitLocker, am I? I'm not running BitLocker. Encryption, data encryption settings. Let's double check there's nothing Windows has put on accidentally on purpose. Well, that's interesting. Windows security is a blank screen, probably because I've got Norton 360 and that's handling it. I'm not doing anything in here, am I? So I'm not doing any encryption in here, am I? Settings, VPN, notifications, no. I want to make sure I'm not doing kind of any device security. What are the performance options? Backup performance. My disk, I don't think so. What's the security? Is that just... Is it projecting against anything like zero-day attacks or ransomware? Because if that's the case, it might be encrypting stuff without me knowing. is it encrypting? Because that would explain a few things. If it's encrypting, that would explain a few things. Why the shader cache is taking so long to actually build, and why it's kind of stuttering so much and using so much CPU. That would explain a lot. Exploit prevention. I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think anything is being encrypted. C drive. System disk, page file, SSD, formatted. It's a really good thing. Give me a second. Let's check that. There's a way of checking it from the command line whether it's encrypted or not. Windows 11, check if using encryption. Wow, this is slow. Come on. Settings, privacy and security device. See, it won't let me do that. Oh, MS Info will do it. Yeah. Scroll down to device encryption support section. What's that under? What? Scroll down in the system information window. Right, this one. Scroll down to device encryption support. There we go. Elevated required to view. What? I've got to run this as administrator then. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Reasons for failed automatic device. Reasons for failed automatic device encryption. That's not supported. Hardware test security interface failed. Device is not modern standard. Okay, well, I don't want it anyway, but so I want disk encryption instead of software encryption. Hardware encryption instead of software encryption. Oh, 70. What I might do is increase the... Yeah, I might do that. Reboot to do that though. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to run some DX12 games after this, so see how we go. But what is this? I want to MSI utility. Run this. So I basically set all of these to undefined. Some devices they turn them onto high on their own, but then if others are undefined and some are high, then they're lower priority than the other ones, and I don't like that. But by default, my disk drives were high, and I'm wondering whether I should put that back. So let's have a look at device manager. View by connection. I need to find my disk drives, which are under some of these. I think it was these two. There's that one. Not that one. It's these two. So that one and that one. Standard MV was these two basically. These were set to high before. So I'm wondering, out of the box, whether I should set those to high as well. But then I'm tempted to make sure that my GPU is set to high as well, and my network card, because that affects latency, the network card, and then you want your controller, so you end up with everything blooming high. Should I just set that to high for the controller? Probably not. See if this makes any difference. Okay, apply. I'm gonna. So we've got the two disk controllers for the SSDs, because I've got two SSDs in here. This is my. Can I actually tell the difference? Yes, I can tell the difference between each one. I might just make the one this one properties. So 400. I might just make that one. Which one's 400? This one, first one. Yeah, that's 200. Okay, so I'm going to have that undefined. Okay, so that's the C drive controller for the hard disk there. And I've got my GPU on high, my network card on high. But then do I have the controller for my GPU as well on high? And then do I have my controller on high? So it's an endless. Obviously I don't want IME on high. No, I don't want that. I don't want that disk on high. What's on these PCI routes? See, these are the controllers for the controllers. 17. Should you then have that on high because it's part of, wait, this one 9. Should I have that on high because then this is on high. So at the moment that's undefined, that's on high, and that's undefined. See this is why I'll put everything to undefined. It just makes it a lot more simple. Okay, so let's reboot. And then let's rerun that replay again. Let's see if I'm stuck. Let's see if I get any thingies. Bum bum ba 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 bum. We are back. Okay. So now we've got all those defined. Let's jump back in Fortnite and let's try that again. See if we get those 100% CPU things again. It's just not a simple question of what's best and what's not best. I'm crashing every couple of days on DX12 as well. I've had 0 crashes on performance mode. 0. Had some crashes in performance mode replays mode, but the replay mode's always been crashed, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think that counts. I don't think that counts. Right. Keep an eye on those statistics. Career replays. That's taking a while to load. Oh, here we go. That CPU max 100. Let's go. Why is it doing 100%? What's it doing right now to constitute 100% CPU? Because it doesn't do this in performance mode. So what's it loading right now? It starts the music again, which isn't right. It's got to be dodgy code, of which I have zero control over. Yep, saw that, didn't it? Time 700. Okay, play. Let it stabilize, then we'll press play. Wait for the stuttering to get down to 0. Still on CPU max 100. Look, you know, I'm going to wait for that to come down a bit. That should not be 100% CPU. I don't know what it's doing right now. I mean, I'm not going to touch anything, and that should come down in a minute. Yeah, it's got audio cut out. What's it doing right now? See, now it's dropped to 80%. What was going on during that 100% CPU? I think it's something to do with the anti-cheats. Oh, down to 80 now. Somebody explain to me. Oh no, look.
Capture started.
All the rubbish again. Why? It should have created the shader cache. Why is it doing... Look, turning around there. Oh, it's just horrible. 20%, 23%, 25% stuttering. DX12 is unusable. It just is unusable while it's trying to create cache. It's not like I haven't downloaded that big pack of shader cache already. I can't use DirectX 12. Can't do it. No. Can't do it. It's doing weird things with the CPU. It's being really slow creating shader cache. Five seconds. I am curious to see what impact making those things high is though. So I'm going to run this out. I'm going to then run another one and I'm going to compare that one to the one we had in the first place where everything was set to undefined. See whether the situation is better or worse all the time. There's no recoil there at all, or I'm controlling it. Done. T700. Wait for it to stabilize. Like 100%, 100%, 100% CPU, 100% CPU, 100% CPU. What is it doing right now? It's like it's trying to load something off the disk, and the communication between the disk and the CPU is awful. Look, now we're down to 85, 92, 87. What was it doing during that 100%?
Capture started.
Still bad. Stuttering is still bad. What else could I change? What else could I change? I don't know. Still getting a lot of stuttering. Performance mode on nothing at the moment. That ship was messing around with colorblind things the other day. I wonder whether he's stuck with anything. 61 seconds. I'd ask him. Bill charging in with his car. 30 seconds. Right, in a second, watch how little recoil there's going to be when I show this part in a second. Right. This next clip, watch this. Maybe not this next clip. This one here. Look how little recoil there is. Either I'm controlling that without thinking about it, or they have reduced recoil. Alright, we're done. Look, compare the two. Right. DX12, replay 3. DX12, replay 4. Right, so let's compare these two. Comparison 4 and 2. So 4 is with the highs, remember? Okay, so that's actually a little bit better, I'd say. Slightly smoother, it's got slightly better lows and slightly higher averages, slightly higher. Let's have a look at this stuttering. So right now we've got 2 versus 0. Yeah, so that's worse stuttering though. What are all these? No, they're awful. That should not be happening at all. Look at the performance mode replay. Like, you got one nasty one, and the nasty one's up to 30. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nasty ones nearing 100. No, I'm not putting up with that. I mean, the fact that they all aren't in the line either, or why that isn't here somewhere is not good. That looks better there. Okay, so the MSI mode I don't like. Let's have a look at let's have a look at the sync. The syncs was the same, 14.6 and 14.6. Man. No, DX12 is gone. I'm not using it anymore. Don't use it. Hey, box, stay there. Yeah. I'm just going to go back to performance mode, but I need to work out. I need to work out what is going on with the hardware there, because something's going on. Very weird. Performance mode. Nothing else. Nothing else. Restart now. So yeah, I think we're gonna go back to MSI mode with everything normal too. Okay. MSI mode, and yeah, we need to run this as administrator. Doofus. I've got to reboot anyway to get these back to normal. But what could it be? Hello, this seems interesting, but for this, you make YouTube about it. Not really. I sometimes do YouTube videos, but mostly I just stream this stuff. But hello and welcome. Yeah, so I've just been comparing basically the same replays for performance mode and DX12. And I always used to run DX12. I mean, I ran it for about 2 years, and it's lower latency, it's higher FPS, it's smoother. And then chapter 4 came along, and all of a sudden I started getting crashes and started getting kind of weird 100% CPU spikes. So I'll show you this again. And I never used to get that. So just comparing, this is exactly the same replay. If we have a look at these two, let's have a look at the analysis. So these are kind of the FPS and dropping. So I cap at 240, even though my computer can go to probably 360. Well, I might have some 360s up here. If I cap at 360, I can still get 360. It just goes up and down a lot, so I don't bother. It's much better if you cap at something that's more manageable, and then you have your average very close to your max. So I cap at 240. I've got a 360 Hz monitor as well, so I don't have to worry about hitting any limits on that. So yeah, so I basically test all these different scenarios and all the different parameters and everything else, different drivers, different everything. And I test it for FPS and I test it for latency as well, because my monitor's got built-in an NVIDIA reflex latency analyzer chip in it. So when I click the mouse, I can see exactly how long it takes to appear on the screen when you press a shotgun, for example. So I can compare. I'm in quite a unique position. Most tuners only look at the FPS, and they don't actually have the equipment to actually measure latency. So I do both. So I know for a fact that DX12 is lower latency than performance mode. Performance mode is DX11, but it's stripped down DX11. Performance mode's newer technology. You can use the reflex stuff on it, which bypasses certain bits of it, which makes it quicker. So DX12, I'd rather be on DX12 than performance mode. I would rather be. But as I say, since chapter 4 came out, I've been in crashes. I've been trying to troubleshoot that with Epic support and not really getting anywhere. And I've been getting these horrible CPU spikes and sitting at 100% when it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I'm desperate to go back to DX12. I've been running performance mode for like the last couple of months, and it's been great. I mean, it's been so smooth. I mean, it's been stuttering 0. I just did this about 20 minutes ago. 0.1% stuttering is nothing across three minutes. That's just super smooth. But then DX12 comes along and it's like 3 times more, but sometimes it's even worse than that. And look, this is what it looks like when you haven't built all the shader cache first. You get a ridiculous amount of stuttering. It's horrible. And you just don't get that with performance mode. Performance mode, you can run like half a game after switching to performance mode, and then it'll build all the shader cache and you won't get any stuttering again ever. My PC specs, I've got a 2080 Ti, I've got an i9 990KF, which I overclocked to 5 gigahertz. So, I mean, in creative, I can get 1200 FPS, which I massively tune this PC and help other people tune their PCs as well. So, I've tested everything, any kind of tweak you can find on YouTube, I've tested it, whether it works and whether it doesn't work. And then I put together 5 gigahertz. So I put it all in a guide together of everything that I do. Stuck it on my Discord. So if you're interested in kind of reading about everything that I've done and want to have a look to see if anything that you can do to do the same thing, if you jump on my Discord and go to the section for PC tuning guide, you can just download my PDF, which is like 100 pages of all the things I do, like optimizing the BIOS, stripping down Windows, overclocking your CPU, overclocking your GPU, overclocking your memory, reducing latency with various things, network optimizations, router optimizations, basically everything, controller optimizations. So there's tons and tons of stuff in there. I just got bored of people asking me, so I thought I'd just write it all down and they can just read that and just kind of dummy's guide how to do it. So anyway, if you want to grab that, that'll get you going. But my guide is probably about a year out of date now, and I do need to update it a bit. So if you've got any questions on that, just let me know. But yeah, so yeah, I'm back to the do I don't I thing of DX12, performance mode, and I want to go back to DX12. I do, but it just seems really unstable since chapter 4, and I don't know whether it's my hardware. I mean, I've got really good hardware. I'm planning on getting a new PC soon because this is like about 4 years old now. It was kind of the best PC you could get 4 years ago, but now I'd want the latest Intel 14th Gen 1400 900 KF, which has only just come out. I'd want the latest motherboards, which aren't out yet, the Z890s. I'd want the latest DDR5 memory. I'd want probably at least a 4080 for Fortnite. You don't need more than a 4080 for Fortnite because it's bored, but probably get a 4080 Ti if one comes out. I have an off-the-shelf HP with 3080. See, that 3080 Ti is a good GPU. I know it doesn't run as good as it could, so I'm always wondering how I can get the most of that. Yeah, I mean, have a look in my guide. But if you're playing Fortnite, then the GPU is really not particularly important. Look, this is performance mode, right? From the last replay. So I'll show you that we'll overlay the CPU load and we'll overlay the GPU load. So you can see there, so in the orange line, that's the CPU load, and it's kind of in the 70s with me running at 240 FPS. The GPU, a 2080 Ti on performance mode, is bored out of its mind. Look, it's on 30%. It's absolutely bored. So people going out and buying 4090s and like big streamers and pros for Fortnite and saying, oh look, my it's so smooth now. I can get all these FPS because I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on a 4090. It's not. The 4090's done nothing. What's done something is the computer that they bought it with has got a much faster CPU and faster memory, and that's why they're getting more FPS and it's smoother. It's nothing to do with the GPU, because if a 2080 Ti is bored out of its brain, then a 4090 is just going to be catatonic. So Fortnite is all about the speed of your CPU and the speed of your memory. It's all about. So if you're buying a new computer for Fortnite, then concentrate everything on the fastest CPU you can get and the fastest memory you can get. Yeah, you need to upgrade your CPU. CPU is the number one thing for Fortnite. The number two thing for Fortnite is your memory speed, and then the number three thing is your GPU, in that order. So if you're going to be spending your money, concentrate on those things first. Because all you're going to be doing is putting a faster GPU in, and that number from 35 there is then going to be down here at 5%. It's going to be bored. And it's still going to be bottlenecked on your CPU. So yeah, make sure your memory is running as fast as you can as well. Your AMD, everything, yeah. If your memory's not running XMP, then you probably need you need to go into your BIOS and enable it. If you want to go higher than XMP, you can probably get another quarter speed out of your memory above XMP as well, if your motherboard's decent and your CPU is decent. So memory is very important. I went from memory, what was it, 3200 frequency CL16, and I went, I'm currently running 3900 CL14, which I've overclocked. And just doing that has got me top end an extra 120 FPS. Just top end, 120 FPS, just by upgrading my memory, which is huge. So yeah, memory is important as well. But anyway, so I don't know really what to do with DX12. I don't know whether I should keep trying to fix it or... So what I was just playing with a minute ago, I've got a thing called MSI utility. And you don't need to worry about this with your 3080 GPUs. There's only anything in the 30 series automatically sets the MSI to on. So this is only because I have this tool because I've got a 2080 and it doesn't automatically set it to MSI mode. MSI mode will basically lower the latency of the device. So you want as many of these on as MSI things as you possibly can. If it says MSI in here in the supported modes, you can tick it and whack it on. So the thing I was just playing with was interrupt priority modes. So I normally set all of these to undefined because they cause more trouble than they're worth if they have some are high and some are low and some are not undefined. Then you have some devices getting higher priority than others, and you can get yourself in a pickle quite quickly. So normally the conventional wisdom is to basically set them all undefined. So I was just playing a minute ago with setting some of them to high and some of them to undefined. And so this is what these two were between 2 and 4. And when I did the comparison, I'll whack that over there and that over there. When I was setting it to high, I was getting a bit more FPS. And it was a little bit smoother. That little yellow line is a measure of how smooth, how much the FPS goes up and down, the standard deviation. So it was a bit better, but there was more stuttering. So I didn't want it. So when I actually looked at the stuttering, look, you got 1 second of stuttering in 3-minute replay versus 0.3. So it's almost 3 times more stuttering with setting these to high. So I've just backed it out to undefined. So keeping those all undefined. Do I run with ray tracing? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Memory is running XMP with 32 gig. That's good. So yeah, one of my friends, he's got a 3090, the late an i13, the best Intel 13th gen CPU you can get, but he couldn't get a very good motherboard when he ordered the computer, so he had to just go for the lowest in the range, and as a result, he can't run XMP for 4000 with CL18 memory, and he has to take it all the way down to 3600 just for it to boot, just because he cheaped out on the motherboard, and now he can't run the memory speed that he wants. So it's quite important that you don't cheap out on the motherboard. You concentrate on the good memory and a good CPU. But yeah, so as long as you're running, make sure XMP. So the 3 things to do in the BIOS. Number 1 is to make sure XMP is enabled for your memory. So that's the faster profiles. Let me get out of this. So if I show you, where's my desktop again? I'll close Fortnite for now because we're talking too much PC stuff at the moment. Let's close this. Close, close, close. Right. So, yeah, if you look at my memory, I'm running 3,900 at CL14, which is really, really fast. That's really, really fast. So but the memory that is for XMP is actually 4,000 there. But what I do is I take it down one notch to 3,900, and then I take the CAS latency down one notch from 15 to 14, and that's actually better performance. So a lot of pros do that. So all you have to do is, if you're going to start, the first step after saying, okay, XMP's not fast enough for me, is to take it down one notch for your memory speed, but take it down one notch for the latency as well and see if it's stable. And that works really, really well. It's nice and smooth. What was I going to show you? I was going to show you CPU-Z, wasn't I? Do I have CPU-Z installed on here? I don't have it installed on here. Should do, really. Let me download CPU-Z. Get the latest one. Consent. Where's the install button? Download button, please. Set up English. I don't need that, thank you. Download now. Bite my way through all these ads. Accept. Yes, yes, yes. Go on and create a desktop icon. Don't need to view the thing, but okay. Got it, got it, got it. That should be starting. There we go. So I can show you my memory profiles in this. What I was going to show you. So there's my CPU letter, i990KF, which I fix at 5 gigahertz. I used to run it at 5.1, but I found that a little bit unstable after like 2 years. It kind of degraded a bit. So now I just run solid 5. So yeah, these are the XMP profiles. So you need to make sure the XMP in the BIOS is enabled. So you need to get CPU-Z and make sure what you think is running for XMP. So these are just profiles, this isn't dynamic. And then you have a look at the actual memory speed and you see what's actually running in here is what's running for the XMP. So that will tell you whether your memory is running at the full speed that you want it to. So what was I saying? I'm saying about device, yeah. So make sure your XMP is enabled. Make sure, say, C states for Intel, or I can't remember what it's called for AMD, where you it's power saving states. It's the equivalent to C states for Intel. Make sure they are disabled. And the other thing to do is ideally disable hyperthreading, because hyperthreading will so that your cores and your logical processors match, because when you do that, you get much, much lower latency, background latency. So I open latency mom, another very useful tool that you probably should run. You run in here. So this is actually higher than it normally is. Look, if I reboot now, that'll be 1.5 and that'll be 0.5. So I'm going to reboot. I don't know why it's doing that. Now, so give me 2 seconds, I'm going to reboot. Right. Ooh. Yeah, so you're running hyperthreading. Yeah, I'm running a dual PC setup. So I have my gaming PC, and over there I have just a work laptop that doesn't even have an external GPU in it, and I can stream from it because I've optimized it so much that I don't even need a GPU in the streaming PC to stream to you guys. So people buying huge computers for streaming, total overkill. You can just do stuff in the BIOS and make it nice and smooth. Yeah, so what I was doing, I was going to show you benchmarks. I was going to show you latency model now. So disabling hyperthreading will make these look, so that's much lower now. We'll make these numbers here the average process latency. That's background Windows processes running right now, causing latency. So that I'm averaging 1.5. Most of you, before you start tuning, you'll see about 5 there. I was on my friend's computer the other day at the weekend, and we got his from 5 down to 3 pretty quickly. But I really strip out my windows, so I've got only 1.5. So if you ever look in Task Manager and see how many processes you're running, I'm normally running between 60 and 80 background. And look, I'm running quite a bit here. I'm running Processor SU, I'm running Advanced System Care, I'm running an antivirus, I'm running RTSS, I'm running Afterburner. So I'm running a load of extra stuff in here. So I'm still not completely stripped it out, but if you can get your processes quite low and get threads around to 1,000, you're running 228, okay. Yeah, you can really strip that down. I can show you how to strip that down quite easily without losing any functionality whatsoever. But yeah, you can get your latency. This here is a measure of the background latency that's your gaming computer is running in the background before you've even started the game. So the lower that number is, the less your FPS drops will be during when you're playing, because your background won't be kind of using stuff up. So it really helps with the FPS lows if you can get these numbers down. Your DPC latency is a measure of how long it's taking for devices, hardware devices, to communicate with the CPU, which is determined by the drivers and how quick the drivers are. So you want the latest drivers. And it's also determined back to that MSI mode, and also which CPUs they're doing kind of requests to. So one of the things to reduce latency you can do a lot is you can move your GPU requests to a CPU other than 0. So you've got all your basically you've got all your CPUs, and most default devices and software will go to CPU 0 to say, look, please, I've got something I need to do here. Can you do the work for me? And then it will spread it across all the CPUs. So it's that initial kind of, who do I go to first? And it's like a checkout counter at a supermarket. You basically choose a line that's the least busy, and then all the other cashiers will then help, kind of thing as well. But when you initially go there, it helps if it's not, everyone's not piling in the same lane to begin with, which is normally CPU 0. So anything you can move off of CPU 0 manually. So I move my GPU over to CPU 2, and I move all my input devices, which is why I've got some ISR counts here and some DPC counts. So my mouse, my controller, my keyboard, I move to CPU 4. And that takes some load off of CPU 0, which in turn lowers the whole average latency of the background, because you're basically spreading the load out more. So there are some tricks you can do to kind of lower your background latency and make everything a lot smoother. But yeah, number one is kind of, reducing how many processes you're running and what you're running in the background. And in my guide on my Discord, there's some steps for doing that. There's things like debloaters, turning off kind of notifications, making sure you're in game mode, making sure hardware accelerated graphics is on for your GPU, MSI mode stuff, processor affinities, as I said, moving things between over to 2 and 4 kind of thing, or whichever ones are least busy. Turning off hyper-threading, so here you have the same number of cores as logical processors. So if I explain that briefly, so hyper-threading is basically where you got a CPU core, and hyper-threading, you can kind of split it in 2 and say, instead of having one lane of a motorway everybody can go 100 miles an hour, you then split it so that the main lane does 70 miles an hour and the slower lane does 30 miles an hour, and then it pushes all the traffic through those 2 lanes. So it's like 2 virtual things in one CPU core, which is great for loads, for amount of traffic that goes through, but it's not the fastest way of going through. The fastest way was the original 1 core, 1 logical processor doing 100 miles an hour. So if you don't have a massive amount of loads, then the fastest and the least latency is just turning off hyperthreading and just having everything through the cores. So if I had hyperthreading on here, I'd have CPU, there'd be 16 here basically. There'd be CPU 0 and CPU 1, and they'd be the first core, and then it's thread. Then the next one will be the second CPU, its core, and then it's thread. And then it will go all the way to 16. So the second one is the 30 mile an hour lane, and that one is the 30 mile an hour lane. So basically you're turning off all the slow lanes. But you can't do as much all at the same time. If that makes sense? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So anyway, so that's why you turn off hyperthreading, just because it's lower latency, and those numbers in latency mon will then come down as a result. Yeah, but if you want to just get your latency, your background apps a bit lower, as I say, go to the guide on my Discord. But the tool that I use is called Free Time Tech, their website, and then software, and then they've got like a Windows 10 debloater and a Windows 11 debloater. You download that, and then you just run the presets for the debloater, and then reboot. And if you're using OneDrive, make sure the OneDrive one is deselected so it doesn't remove that. But other than that, it's pretty safe, that one. The one that I have a problem with is their gaming debloater, because it does a load of tweaks that kind of mess up your registry, so I stay away from this. I do use it for one thing, and one thing only, and that's disabling HPET, which is High Precision Event Timer, which is, where are you? Here we go, High Precision Event Timer. Disables that, and it adds like a timer resolution service, so it's really useful. So you don't have to install it, ISLC or timer resolution app, and then start it manually every time you start the computer. And it does all that for you. So that's the only thing I use for that. But otherwise, I stay away from all the other bits that this uses, because it does some weird stuff. But yeah, their debloater tool's really good. So I use that on my work computers as well, because I do all the IT for a company as well. So we use it on all the work laptops, and that works well. But that will get your processes down from 228 down to probably about 120, just that alone. I mean, I'll show you what it looks like. I've probably got it here somewhere. Where's my downloads? Have I got downloads? There you go, Windows Play. So I'll show you what it looks like. So what you do, you download it, you unzip it, and then you run it as administrator. Right click, run as administrator. Tick tock, tick tock. And then all you have to do is go into options, a debloat preset, and then that will enable, it's probably better off you having it there, that will enable all the default things for anything on this left side is basically what it's doing. So it's going to uninstall OneDrive, but because I sometimes use OneDrive, I leave that one alone, so I turn that one off. And then when you're happy going through all the settings, like third-party ones, infra view, I don't need that, so turn that off. Notepad++ is always worth installing if you haven't already got it. VLC media player, maybe sometimes. 7-zip's always useful. So install everything you want here. When you're happy with everything, like combine everything to the left, default layout, things like that. You go to the output tab, you click output PowerShell. That will basically write a script for everything you've selected. And when you're happy with it all, you then click run PowerShell. That will run a system restore point in case anything goes wrong, and then it will run through all these things and do it all for you. And then you just reboot, and your processes should basically be about 120, I'd say, before you then need to kind of really go through that. Okay, I had to step away, but I just got back just in time to see that. Also, I have Zoom meetings and cover pages research. Yeah, no worries, mate. Same. I said, put something on in the background to work. Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, if you jump on my Discord and you grab my thingy guide, my tuning guide, which is just a big 100-page PDF, it does walk you through most of this stuff, so that I don't have to keep repeating myself. But yes, I'd stay away from that free time tech gaming debloater, as I say. The one setting that I do use, I'll show you the one setting that I do use if I've got it on here, downloads. Is there a gaming debloater on here? I don't think I've got the gaming debloater on there. I think I've only got that one. Yeah, as I said, I mean, you can use Intelligent Standby List Cleaner, but then you have to do it manually or let me think. Yeah, mine's set up as a service. That gaming debloater, as I say, sets. Where is it? Set. Here, set timer resolution service. That's the only thing I use that gaming debloater for. So don't use the full whack on that one. Just if you're going to do anything on that gaming debloater one, only use the one that says disable HPET, and that should make the game smoother as well. Also on my Discord, there's in the section where you download the PDF guide, there are a couple of scripts that you can run that do a load of the kind of command edits for you. So I'll show you those. Tuning, OS tweaks. So I keep these to basically a minimum, these OS registry tweaks, because I generally don't like doing anything in the registry. I just want to leave it alone. But there are some kind of essential things that you do need to do. So the first one is disable full screen optimization mode. So if you're running performance mode, then I definitely recommend running full screen exclusive mode, which again lowers latency. So you can see what this does. It just kind of does a couple of things in the registry to disable the Windows full screen optimization mode. So if you're running performance mode, that's a good script to run. Again, that's on my Discord, you can download. The registry tweaks for gaming. Shouldn't be too much in there. It's just the basic stuff that everyone agrees works pretty much on the internet. So I've tested all these. These are all safe. What's the other one? Yeah, my disable services one's quite good. That will reduce your processes down from about 120 probably down to about 80. And all that does is it goes through your registry and disables a load of services you don't need for gaming. So basically, all these services, it just goes through and just sets them to disabled. So typically you don't need any of these stuff for gaming. And I've noticed absolutely no functionality issues disabling any of these things. So again, that will take your background latency down. If you want to run that, it's on my Discord too. BCD edits, that's the one you need for the disable HPET stuff. Just some BCD edits, they're pretty standard too. Yeah, that's it. Interesting, yeah, I have full screen windowed, but I also stream from my PC, and it seems like problematic switching to OBS. If you're going to alt-tab a lot, yeah, it does, in performance mode, it will kind of freeze the screen for a little bit, and then you go back again. Full screen. Adrian streaming. What else? But yeah, I need to work on my tuning guide a bit more. I think the one I've got on the Discord is, I think I've got this in streaming mode, so it's okay to open. Yeah, there's my Discord. Right, so in here you've got kind of the tuning guide, and you can download, that's version 54. I am working on version 55 and 56, trying to update it a bit. But I think that's still pretty relevant. And then you've got those registry tweaks I've just walked you through. I also publish all my benchmark results in here when I'm comparing different settings and just showing that I've tested different things back to back, what works, what doesn't work. So if there's some tweak on the internet that somebody suggested, I've typically benchmarked it to see whether it does actually do anything. And then yeah, if you've got any questions, just bung questions in the tuning chat section or the Fortnite chat section or something. Very active in there, so normally reply to things within like 5-10 minutes, if not immediately. But yeah, hello and hello. But yeah, if you've got any questions, just shout and I'll help best I can, because I'm like that. So where was I? I was doing Fortnite, wasn't I, hours ago? We just rebooted after we changed all the MSI stuff. Yeah, let me show you the, oh no, not you. Let me show you I have a tool called Interrupter Checker. You know, I was saying I moved certain devices onto different cores to spread the load. So you can see here, this is a tool that just shows you where they're pointing at for the interrupt requests. So I've got my GPU on 2, and I've got all my input devices on 4. And as I say, that kind of spreads the load. Most things by default will be spread across all of them, but they'll end up defaulting to 0. So anything you can lighten the load off of 0 as much as possible should smooth things out. Nothing else exciting. What else was I recommend? So the things I run in the background, I mean, I run RTSS just because, and I run a small overclock on my GPU, but I don't really need it. The main thing I run on my GPU is the custom fan curve to keep it cool. So I do quite an aggressive, by 60 degrees centigrade, it's running 100% fans. And that really, really does help keep the GPU on its toes and quicker by keeping it colder. So the colder the GPU or the CPU are, the lower latency is, the quicker they'll be able to respond to stuff. So if anything, I use the afterburner, the MSI afterburner, specifically just to make the fan curve a bit more aggressive than the default, and so it keeps it cool. So I'm normally running max at 50s, normally in the 30s for my GPU, and that really helps too. I put that on Ship's computer for him recently, and we basically sat and watched. He was running like 60 degrees centigrade, and within a couple of minutes we got all the way down to 30, and he couldn't believe it. That all we had to do was kind of an MSI afterburner and crank up the fans a bit. So that really helped him. But yeah, I love RTSS. I love RTSS. If you can cap in game, that's good. You get the lowest latency. But what RTSS does is it kind of takes a bit more FPS than you need, and then it chops it up so it's kind of really, really evenly spaced, the frame times. And so you end up getting less lows because it's taking more of what it needed in the first place. And it's really, really consistent with the frame times, which helps your muscle memory. In terms of latency, there's almost absolutely nothing in it between running the in-game limiter and running RTSS. I've tested them in my Reflex latency analyzer. I've tested them in the Cap Frame X. These days, there's almost absolutely nothing in it. So I highly, highly recommend capping in RTSS, River Tuner Statistics Server, because it will make your game so much smoother and you will not notice any additional latency. So big thumbs up for this. These are the settings I use. So I cap, and if you want to change FPS, it's just a case of I've just changed FPS. That's how quick it is. So then now I'm running 357. And now I'm running 240. And then you stick in Fortnite, you stick unlimited and just let this do its thing. So that works really, really well. So I'd highly recommend that. But if you are going to use RTSS, there are a couple of things you need to do. Number one, you need to go in here and scroll down and see where it says enable passive waiting. That's an energy saving thing, which is on by default for some crazy reason. So take that off. That's anything you need to do really for RTSS. And that's also on a per profile basis. So you need to make that change on a profile basis. Right, am I boring everybody yet with all this nerdy stuff? Ugh, let's put the light on, it's getting dark. What else do I run in the background? I run Norton 360 for gamers. Performance-wise, there's not really much difference between this and just Windows Defender out of the box. Where this comes into effect is it's got some extra tools in it, like software updaters, game optimizers, where it stops notifications popping up for other things, and just can kind of prioritize your game a bit more. That does help a little bit, but I'd say these days, if you don't want to spend money, then probably Windows Defender is just fine. So you don't need this, but I run it. What else do I run in the background? I was running CC Cleaner, and I ran this ages ago. I have a bit of Advanced System Care, and I really rate their driver booster software as well. But the problem, I went off of this because one, it's Chinese, so you don't really know what it's kind of sending off to China information-wise. And two, the Chinese being the Chinese, they stole the database from Malwarebytes for all the kind of malware stuff, and then used it in their product. So what did Malwarebytes do? They then marked all IOBit software as malware in retaliation. So now if you run like a Malwarebytes adware scanner or something, it will mark anything from IOBit as malware, even though it's not really. They're just doing it as a retaliation for them stealing their database. So anyway, so that's why I moved away from IOBit and their tools. So I then was using CC Cleaner for a while, but then I started having problems with CC Cleaner in that it was running a scheduled task at the same time every day, which alt-tabbed whilst you were gaming in the background. So you had to go and disable that in the kind of registry, and it's just ridiculous. And I opened a support case with them, and they're like, well, send us all your specs, send us how you do this. And I'm saying, look, just turn this stupid thing off you're doing every day, please. Just do it. And they wouldn't respond. So I've recently moved back to Advanced System Care, and I use this now for just kind of cleaning the computer. And I've noticed that I was running some performance mode tests the other day, before and after I installed this, and it was much smoother after I ran these optimizations. So I've gone back to this now, the Advanced System Care. So I don't know what it did. I think it backed out an optimization which used large system cache, which is a memory tweak. And I think it backed that out, and I think it, as a result, made it a lot smoother. So I'm just going to stick with this from now on, the Advanced System Care. I like it. So a couple of people on my Discord have been using it for years as well, and they like it too. It pretty much covers all your bases. It'll optimize your network, it'll optimize your registry stuff, it'll get rid of any spyware traces. So that's quite a good thing. And I bought a bundleware the other day with Advanced System Care, the driver booster, and the uninstaller apps, those three. And it was only like $20 for a year for 3 computers. So I thought that was a no-brainer. $20 for 3 really good apps for a year for 3 PCs. So yeah, I bought that the other day. So I'm running all the pro stuff at the moment. But yeah, this is all really good. So it just cleans out your computer. I realised you couldn't see a load of that because my head was in the way in the top left. So sorry about that. What else do I run in the background? Well, Discord, but I do all my game chat with Discord. Oh yeah, processor soon. That's nearly done. That's finished. Okay, so that's just done a clean and a speed up. What's that saying? Startup optimizer. What's that? I've got a new thing in there. Corsair service. Do I want to ignore that? Yeah, I think I probably do. I think that's for my memory RGB, which I turn off. Let's just leave that alone. Okay, close that. Sorry, I digress. Yeah, so process. I see another thing I run. It's where did my name there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you can run different basically power plans depending on what's running. So I run a balanced power plan which reduces the power normally, but then as soon as I open Fortnite, it runs the bitsum power plan, which is kind of a higher profile. And it also reduce any processes running in the background that it's using up too much, it's affecting system responsiveness. It lowers their priority so that what you've got in the foreground doesn't suffer. So that's quite a good tool. So you can get a free version of this, which pretty much does everything other than you having to wait 10 seconds when you first start it for an ad for itself. But I pay a couple of dollars just to get the pro version. So this is quite good as well. Processor soup. What else do I run in the background? The NVIDIA settings. Yeah, so RTSS, Afterburner, antivirus, system care thing, which I could just turn off because I don't actively run it. Processor soup, and that's better match it. The other thing is just optimizing your NVIDIA settings. Oh, one thing. If you're running dual monitors, one thing I've discovered recently, if you're running G-Sync with dual monitors, it adds a load of latency spikes every so often. So if you've got multiple monitors or you've got like an Elgato capture card or something that's acting like a second monitor, then run fixed refresh, turn off G-Sync. I've got a G-Sync chip in this really good 360 Hz monitor, and I'm having to turn it off when I'm running two monitors because you do get these horrible latency spikes. So yeah, I definitely recommend turning off G-Sync if you are running two monitors, principally because Windows has a problem either cloning monitors or having extended monitors. So fix refresh fixes that issue. What else? What else? Yeah, so like fix refresh. And then make sure that that's on maximum performance and high performance and things like that. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I go back to my tests, I'll show you. Probably still got them on here. I think I did them on this one. What have we got? Where have I did the things the other day? Is that it? I think it was before that. Where was it? No, it wasn't that. Show you where it was doing it. I'm trying to find it. No. There we go. So you can see here for this recording, see all these latency spikes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's like 10 in a 3-minute replay. So every 20 seconds or so. It was getting these latency spikes. So as soon as you then pull out either the second monitor or you go to fix refresh, they completely disappear. So what have I got? Yeah, I need the back-to-back one. No, it wasn't that. I'm trying to find the back-to-back one. I should have labeled these better. Maybe it was closer to here. Game. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. There were regular like latency spikes, and as soon as I either pulled out my Elgato, my second screen, they just completely disappeared, or I went from G-Sync to fix refresh, they completely disappeared. So if you're running two monitors, do not run G-Sync. Moral of the story, nobody will tell you that other than me. So I found it out. Right. Anything else you guys want to know? Anything else? Yeah, I don't know whether you guys are keyboard and mouse or controller players, but I've got the latest scuff here. I reviewed that the other day. And sadly, it's not as good as the old Scuff. How do I get better at Fortnite? Sure, bugger in Discord, good. How do you get better at Fortnite? You make the lobbies easier. You do both keyboard and I do both keyboard and mouse. And Xbox Pro controller. Pro controller, okay. So Xbox Pro controller, lots of high latency on that one then. So do you mean like one of these, or do you mean the Scuff Pro controller? So like a Xbox Elite. Is that what you mean? Xbox Pro controller? I don't know. I haven't bought any Xboxes for a while, but this thing has 7 milliseconds latency. This thing has 0.7 milliseconds latency. So yeah. So ideally you want to move to a Sony PlayStation one because it's so much more responsive. It's crazy. But I've got so many different types of controllers. I've got Astros. I've got all different types of Scuff. I've actually had 7 of these Elite 2, 7, because the bumper buttons start double registering within 2 weeks of brand new ones. So I've got like 7 pretty much brand new controllers back there. So I ran with these for a while before I started moving over to the Scuff ones. But I just use this for my Switch now. I don't use it for my PC. Yeah, I can feel the latency. Yeah, it's 7.75 milliseconds, the latency of that. Because I mean, I can test these as well. I test controllers too, and you can test all the where's game. You can like test all the with X input test. You can test the response times and you can get the latencies. Yeah, PS5 controller is the way to go. So we were discussing this on stream last night. Probably the best PS5 controller is either the Scuff Reflex FPS, this one, which is my daily driver. It's my favorite one. But the paddles are a bit wobbly, side to side. They're a bit plasticky and a bit wobbly. Whereas the brand new PC Envision Scuff thing, which I got the other day, one of the first people to get it in the world. The response times are all over the place. It's not stable. And I've complained to Scuff about this. I said, look, that you've got 2 milliseconds of jitter. It's basically going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's terrible. So they need a firmware update for this. But otherwise, this is actually a really nice controller in your hands. It's got really good paddles at the back for. So if you're gonna, this out of the box won't overclock. This new Scuff controller. So it's about 2.7 milliseconds, 2.75 milliseconds. Out of the box, the Scuff PS5 one with the back paddles, that starts at 3.75 and then you set the polling rate to 250 and then it goes down to 0.7. So that's pretty much the lowest one that I found. Just on a 250 polling rate, that will go down to 0.7 milliseconds. Does it have the bump stop? So, which one? So the Scuff one just has mouse clicks, the FPS. These are all mouse clicks. There's no bumper stops. The actual mouse digital ones. So it's really good. They're not digital. They're not mouse digital on the top. On these. Yeah, that's a mouse click on the new Scuff. That's a mouse click. I think they're pretty much mouse clicks on the back as well for the pedals. These have little sliders that you can either go to racing games where it goes all the way down, or slide the slider back, or it's just mouse click. So yeah, I think the new Scuff is good, apart from this stupid motherboard, which has very up and down overclocks, which isn't even out of the box. It's not even overclocking it. PS1 controller is still your favorite. Never a fan of paddles and pressure sensitivity. I mean, paddles paddles let you keep your thumbs on the thing all the time, so you don't have to take them off and press one of the face buttons. So this is why I need 4 paddles. I mean, I'll show you my Astro. I've kind of modified that a bit. Let me grab it and take my headphones off. So my Astro, the Astro C40, which is what like ship and Rapper and kind of all the really top grinders use, because you can replace the thumbsticks. But this has only got 2 paddles on the back. So what I did, because I need at least 2, because I like a button that can go straight to shotgun, I map scroll wheel up and scroll down. Scroll up, I map straight to shotgun. Scroll down, I do like an edit reset. So I actually bought a Pro Scroller. So I don't know if you've heard of Pro Scroller, but they actually add an actual scroll wheel as a peripheral that you can stick on the back of controllers. So I just have the back buttons, and then I can just use the scroll wheel up and scroll wheel down. And there's an extra kind of middle mouse button here as well. So yeah, if you look up a website called Pro Scroller, a company in Switzerland will basically send you one for about $30. But yeah, they're really good. So whenever I use my Astro, I just stick on the Pro Scroller, and this is like a metal plate you can stick on with sticky tape, and then there are magnets on this, so you can move it around and pull it on, pull it off. So yeah, Pro Scroller. But yeah, that's really useful for kind of scroll wheel resetting and going straight to shotgun. So yeah, that's a good addition. But otherwise, if you've got 4 paddles, what I end up doing is I end up using anti-micro to actually bind scroll wheel up and scroll wheel down. So anti-micro. So I use on the D-pad, I allocate that to scroll wheel up, the D-pad up, and scroll down to that. And then in Fortnite, I can then allocate scroll wheel up and scroll down to whatever I want. And that works quite well. But yeah, then I have these in the paddles as basically scroll wheel up and scroll wheel down. And the good thing about scroll wheel up and scroll wheel down is it doesn't change the input type. Like if you had a map here that this one went to like the A key or the 1 key or something, in Fortnite you'd actually see when you pressed it, the input type would change in the bottom right hand corner under everything. You'd have the different labels change to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of thing, instead of triangle, square, and etc. The only 2 binds that you can use anywhere on a keyboard and mouse that don't make that change are scroll wheel up and scroll wheel down. They're the only 2 you can use. Yeah, so that's why when I map, I only use scroll wheel up and scroll down, because I keep my aim assist. Because when you move the input between keyboard and mouse over the keyboard and mouse, you lose aim assist for like about 3 or 4 seconds, and you don't want that in the middle of a fight at all. So that's why I just use scroll up and scroll down as any kind of paddle mapping binds and things. But again, that's not on the internet anywhere. You try looking on YouTube for something that will tell you that, and they won't, because they haven't noticed. Anyway. What was I doing? I can't remember what I was doing. What was I doing? I think I've covered enough non-Fortnite stuff. Let's actually run a game or 2. I think. Biscuit's probably on. Biscuit on? Let's see if Biscuit's on. Let's jump in my chat thing. Let's see if I can find Mr. Biscuit. Run some games with. So, what do you guys reckon is going to happen next season? Do you reckon we're going to get the Season 1 map and 0 builds, but then how are they going to have mantling and sprinting when they didn't exist back then? And how are you going to get around with 0 builds on that old map? Like, yeah, there's certain bits you can't get around the map on. You need to build to actually get around the map. So I still don't know how they're going to do next season. I really don't. They're either not going to have 0 builds and then really annoy like 250,000 people that aren't going to play it. They're going to add zip lines. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I hope they keep 0 builds. I really do. I love 0 builds. The reason I do like building, but I don't like how easy it is with ping compensation to build a wall and then 2 seconds later be shot. It's like, or I mean, you still get it in 0 builds. You can run around a corner and then 2 seconds later be shot. So, because the other person's got bad ping, and on the server it's got something called ping compensation, which basically says, okay, you can have an extra second or so to shoot somebody when because you're so laggy that they're still on your screen, but even though they've gone. So I hate ping compensation, but it's even worse in build mode because you're literally building a wall, and then all of a sudden you're like, you can build a wall and somebody can snipe you in your head and you die, and then the wall finishes building. And you're like, well, who built that if I'm dead? So this is why builds drives me nuts. I've got pretty much 0 ping and it still drives me nuts. Just because people with higher ping, higher latency, can still shoot me even though I've defended myself. And that always made me really mad about builds. So this is why I like 0 builds. It still does it, but it doesn't affect you as much. No builds more sense to you, yeah. Okay. The other thing I run is exit lag. I find that useful if I'm ever getting packet loss, because what exit lag does is it lets you run 2 parallel connections to the servers. So if packets get dropped on one, then it still can come back to the other one, and so you kind of fill in the gaps. So I do like exit lag. I've got to renew that soon, I think. Yeah, I don't understand how people like Miro on a controller can keep up with players on keyboard and mouse the way they build. They build so fast on keyboard and mouse now. It just looks like it's all macro. It's so fast. I don't understand how controller players can keep up with them in builds. I just don't understand how they're doing that. And Miro just won that LAN event, so he clearly wasn't cheating because they had somebody standing behind him. So I don't know. I don't know how they're doing that. When I build, it's so clunky. It takes me a whole second just to do an edit. You know, take out a top corner, and then I go to the next one, press edit, and go to the next one, press edit. It's not drilling through stuff. It's just insane. But I know Miro plays double claw, so he's kind of using the top of the pad to press edit, and he's like double clawing it. So I think I'm too old for that. My hands would seize up. Don't it? Right, who have we got on? Let's see if Biscuit's on. No, Biscuit's not on yet. I might run an easy game. Might just run a bot lobby. Just to wait for the boys. I don't want arthritis. I'm too old to get arthritis. I just want to play casual games and performance tuned PCs. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Wait, what am I doing? Where's yours? What are we up to this season? I don't think I'm getting to 1,000 this season. It's not happening. What do we have? 2 weeks left? Not long. So we're back in performance mode. Look, this is D11 there, DX11. So we are back on performance mode. GG's. Or the other thing I'd recommend, if you're a controller player, I don't think it's as bad as keyboard and mouse because you've got something to support your arms on when you're playing. But one of these things from Scuff, it's like a giant controller blow up pillow. And what it does is it just kind of sits on your lap and goes around your waist. So that your elbows are then supported and you sit more upright. Because I used to always find that when I was playing kind of with my controller between my knees, I'm much more hunched over and it keeps you much more upright. So I would recommend one of these Scuff pillows, these Scuff support pillows. They're really good. I think I got that last Christmas. Couldn't play without that now. It's just really hunching over the whole time, so it's much better for your posture. I'm just selling you guys stuff here, it's crazy. What was that film where they had a family of basically actors that just had the latest TVs and everything, and they keeping up with the Joneses or something, and they were basically just there to make their neighbours go, oh, that's nice, where do you get that from, and sell the stuff. I feel like that with all my controllers and Pro Scroller wheels, and buy this CPU. You know, I should get sponsorship from these people. No chance. I've got to build Shader Cache again. This is the first time on performance mode today, after I've switched to DX12. It might be a little bit stuttery to begin with, but it'll probably only be half a game. Yeah, Biscuit is normally on about 5. Paul's normally on about 7, and Surfer Bill's normally on about 10. Okay. Got him out of bullets. Bye. Yeah, 3 bullets, not good. There we are, 17 now. There, you can see my temperatures down there. Look, my GPU's only at 36 and it's bored out of its brain at 20% utilization. Performance mode, just you do not need a good GPU for Fortnite. And no. Yes, I want. Not really. A lot of half pots around, isn't it? Someone on the flag. They're doing that. I'm going to go to the other side and get a better angle. 2 on the flag. Land on the back of this. I've only got 73 bullets though. 1. He's just concentrating on the loot, isn't he? They all do that. They see loot below them and they go, ooh, I don't care if somebody's shooting at me. I want that loot. Wow, this is a lot of half pots. Wait, did I just run past some AR bullets? I did. Yeah, so one of you guys was asking me earlier about do I have YouTube videos on this stuff? No, I typically just go through it on my stream. I should really make YouTube videos about it, but I don't know, I'm just not very good at YouTube videos. Everyone on my Discord's always telling me I should, but I don't I just feel I'm far too boring to be making YouTube videos where I make people interested in boring subjects. Where is this guy? Is he below me here? Nope. What was that? That was close. Alright, I think I've killed everyone here. Oh, maybe not. Have now. The Vandy, broken Vandy. Lots of goodies on the flag. Yeah, the other thing I'm getting annoyed at the moment is shotgun shots blanking. It's even worse with the Maven accelerators. The first two shots often just blank. I'm definitely not missing because I'm hitting people like point blank range where you just can't miss. They just don't do any damage. It's driving me nuts at the moment, so this is pretty much why I've moved over to the pump a bit more, because then you hit one pump shot, then you switch to your SMG and do a ton of damage with an SMG. So even if your first couple of shots miss with the shotgun, it doesn't really matter because you can kill somebody with an SMG very fast anyway. Do I want to hire him? Probably. My GPU gets so hot in DX12, I wonder if there's a design flaw in the PC. Well, yeah, just make sure your fans are turned up in Afterburner. As I say, that's things a godsend for keeping your GPU cool. Worth downloading and installing just for that, even if you're not overclocking anything. Set your custom fan curve to be 100% when it gets up to 60 degrees centigrade, and it makes a massive difference. If it gets too loud, then I don't know what that guy's doing. Then you can turn it down a bit, but I mean, even at 100%, it doesn't. I can't hear it. You guys can't hear it on the stream, so I'm fine. Should we go and get the bosses? I think I've got enough stuff here. Yeah, the other thing anti-micro and letting me bind to scroll wheel up and down is in zero builds I can macro. Well, it's not macro. I'm basically pressing one button and I'm scroll wheel downing at a set speed. So I can actually spam crouch with one action, because it's just scroll wheel down at a set speed. So not against terms of service or cheating, but it really helps you aim when you don't have to spam your crouch button at the same time. You can just press and hold a paddle. I use it, but I use it differently in build modes. So I use it for switch mode, but in zero build mode, it's really useful being able to kind of duck up and down as you're firing, and go left and right, and just holding one paddle. Whoop! You. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the bummer with controller I had was the crouching. Didn't think to make that a paddle. Well, yeah, you have to use anti-micro and you have to set the scroll wheel rate in anti-micro. I think it's to 5 a minute or something. That way you get all the way down and go up. Because if you do it too quick, you don't actually go all the way down. You need to go all the way down and then all the way up. So you need to get the scroll wheel rate correct, which is about 4 or 5 a minute, I think. 4 or 5 a minute? Oh, I can't remember what it is. Not a second. Wait, am I missing something there? No. 2 keys. No, I don't want any of that. Oh, something's flying in on me. Give me a sec. I saw that and I didn't know where they went. Loki must die. Ooh, only just got that off. I'm running away so that I can get some cover while he's rezzing. He doesn't even notice I'm here. Come this way, come this way. Yeah, I think the second guy was the weaker player of that duo. He should have been shooting me in the back there. Slalom my way through all the loot. Alright, next. Kind of want to do that, but 600 meters is way too far unless I've got a car. Oh, there's a guy there. Over a little bit so I can get an angle. Where'd he go? Oh. I think it's a bot. Yeah, that was a bot. He paused before he started crawling. It's a bot. Like catnip to bots, rails, zip lines. They can't resist going up a good zip line, bots can't. Wait, did I just hear a shot? Or did I imagine that? Yes, I heard a shot. Where was it from? Where was that from? Again, I can never tell the direction of bullets. Okay, it's through that tree. Okay, if that's not aimbot, I don't know what is. They've definitely reduced the amount of recoil, you know. This gun is ridiculously accurate now. Could do that with a grey one. Not aim assist. There's almost no aim assist whatsoever, especially on ARs. It's just low sense and no recoil. We've got to go back to the Scar, I guess, next season. We've just done that. Not the easiest way to push from here. Probably put some augments on, but I'm typically shot as soon as I put augments on. Where are they? Have they gone already? They're there. Interesting. He just threw his mate out in the open. Did you see that? He used the thing to just throw his mate out in the open. Go on, go for him. I'm going to take your cover and then laser you from behind. You didn't expect that, did you? The MK. Shame they've nerfed that again though now, so I don't really want it. Anything else I do want? No. They've not got a better shotgun. They do not. Lost in the sauce, indeed, Paul. How you doing, mate? You play ranked? No, not really. I like nice and easy lobbies. I did play ranked the other day on an old account, just to test something in terms of latency. And I did a solo ranked and got a 17 kill win as my first game, but then after that, it was all like 5-10 kill losses. So that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm now going to need a rift instead of that. I don't really want to be fighting them low ground. Oops, I missed flying around. Come on, where are the rifts? Oh, that's one around the corner. Are they fighting each other? Might be, you know. Now look, he will now concentrate, or will he? I was gonna say he will now concentrate on the loot, but I don't think he did. He actually was sensible. He can see me because I'm marked. It's not very good, so I got lucky. I never know whether to take this gun or not. It's not bad. I mean, you can do over 100 each shot, but you just got to remember to keep spamming it really fast. I think a purple spares I'd rather have, but as I had a blue one. Who have we got? Who have we got? There was some fighting down here, wasn't there? There was some noise. Usually around the flag area. I'm still marked. How am I still got a little white mark above me? Oh, there we go. I say, who's that for? There's somebody below me. Probably should take that tree out so if somebody comes up and takes all the loot, I can just laser them. Use it as bait, yeah. Use it as bait, here they come. I really need to put some augments on. Somebody's flying around. There's a guy, there's a guy, there's a guy, right down there. Oh, focusing on him instead. No fly zone. Oh, hit him so high that when he hit the ground, he's dead. I do have aimbot at the moment, it's crazy. I swear I get reported at least 5 times a game. I'm not cheating, honestly. Good controller, good PC, low latency, low sense. Anybody else? Gotta move, haven't I? The impulse stretch is fun, but I'm better off with a sharp tooth and SMG. Yeah, I agree. The sharp tooth, I just don't like shooting, going to the SMG, coming back and trying to shoot again and it's still not ready to fire. That drives me nuts. Whereas at least I can do, if I do that with the infiltrator, I know that it's going to fire the second time. I get any kind of height here. What height? Doesn't seem to be height, is it? Is that in? No, it's not in. Haha, stole that kill, mate. Where's he gone? I swear I'm getting less recoil as well, since, you know, in the HUD you have the option for off, hit only and hit plus icon. I usually only play with off, but since I switched to hit only, I swear I've got less recoil, especially on SMGs. It might just be that you get an extra little round blue circle around the dot when you're shooting for shields with hit only, and that helps with tracking. But there might be placebo, but I swear my SMG is more accurate now. It feels like there's less recoil. Who have I got left? 7 left, 5 teams. Okay, so that's only 2 duos, the rest solos. I'm going over there next, which is completely out in the open. Great. Where are any bunkers? Get behind that rock. That actually might be better. Yeah, that will be better. They're all going to die in the storm here, aren't they? I think they're probably all bots left. Killed everybody real. Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. The higher the weapon grade, the less the recoil. I agree. Come on, who's left? There he is. Here they come. He's got the blade, so they're the danger team. I need the back of the hill. Wait, where do they go? There you go. See that little blue like extra circle in the middle? Helps with the oh. Oh no, I thought I got him. There we go, I did get him. He's lining me up. See him doing it. It's a week to reload. Is he still there or has he moved? We'll go to the right next. We'll probably go up on height quickly and then get a better angle, but so I need to go up to the right. See if I can see a better angle up here. Hope I haven't been flanked. Could have been. Yeah, could have been here. Could have come around here. Where did that guy go? Did I actually get that kill? Probably not. I forgot to first him. I'm talking to you guys too much. 152. Knocked. He's either got to go back for him. See, this is why I like duos over solos. Because now I've got bait. He's sitting there. He needs to go back to him. Whereas if this was solos, I wouldn't have that. Everyone would just be sitting in a box. He's gonna get out. Here we go. Here's the thing. Boom. Sorry, buddy. Don't know why he went down there to fight a bot. Do you have any sort of custom crosshair? I'm not running one at the moment, but there is a way of doing it that I use. So, you know, I was talking about RTSS earlier. There's a plugin you can use for RTSS, which basically can put any character on the screen anywhere you want. So you can put a plus, and then it basically appears in the middle there like that. Or I could have a dot. If I put a dot, see, now it's a dot. Or a zero, it's a zero. So I sometimes use that, but rarely, because I'm worried about getting reported for cheating. But that's quite useful, because you can kind of center it in the screen. But yeah. Most pros, they have this monitor with a built-in reticle, so they're cheating. How many was that? That was 26. Nearly got more kills than I took damage. Oh, do we have a biscuit yet? No, still no biscuit. Where is he? I'll send him a message. He might be out tonight though. Who's he on? Where are you, Mr. Biscuits? There we go. Send him a message. Send him a message. Yeah, I heard about those monitors. Hard to call that cheating, in my opinion, if you can get a monitor with it. Oh, I agree. 100% I agree. But you know how these anti-cheat things work. And it's never triggered an anti-cheat, that thing. Because, as I say, it's using RTSS, and all it's doing is exactly what that's doing down there, but it's just putting a character, and I can move that around down there. It's just putting a character in the middle of the screen. So it's not like it's kind of different software. It's exactly the same as running stats, having an overlay. So my aim does improve a little bit when I use that, but I don't want to get told off. You're cheating! Yeah, I was dropping in Rumble every game for that accelerator, but given all the blanks I've been hitting recently, it's kind of brutal. Trying to get a normal shotgun. Oh, I just killed someone. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ava. I usually get people coming in my stream telling me off. I'm very sorry. Didn't mean to kill you. I accidentally killed you. As a dad, I know it's not fair of me to steal all the kills from children, assuming you are a child. No, my aim's pretty good. My aim is pretty good, especially with an AR. If they took it, I mean, the seasons I've got the lowest KD are when I don't have an accurate AR. I don't care how little damage it does per bullet. If you have a low sense and an accurate AR, I can just hit anything from any distance. So any seasons with the AUG or the Red Eye or this dual mag, I've got really, really high KD. Any seasons where you got guns like the Scar or something, or even when they had the MK with massive recoil, I couldn't hit anything from range, and the number of kills I get per game was so much lower. But yeah, so I pretty much do all my damage from range, and only do close range fights if I absolutely have to, or somebody's nearly dead already. That way you end up taking a lot less damage, because long range fights you take a lot less damage than you do close range fights. You might win the close range fight, it's easily, but you're going to be taking more damage otherwise than you would do otherwise. So, but I mean, I'd rather have a grey one of these than a gold one of anything else ever in Fortnite. It's just, I love this AR, love it. Best AR ever. Yeah, I can just beam people because I'm only running 7% ADS, and then I use boost when people get close to me so I can still keep the ADS on. And that just allows me to laser people. My hip fire aim is okay, but it's nowhere near as good as my ADS aim. Yep. I hated it at first, want the MK back, but I really like it now, yeah. I know some people though that can't hit anything with it, and I don't, this gun, I don't understand how you struggle, anyone would struggle to hit stuff with it. Maybe their sense is too fast, I don't know, there's a guy there. I need to pay attention to him, he's tracking me. Come on. I can do the spamming left and right just by holding one paddle as well. So good. Ooh, that means I don't have to buy one. Nice. But the reason I got into Fortnite was because my son at the time was 8. And he came from school saying, "Look, Daddy, I want to play this game that all my other school friends are playing," and so because it has mics and other kids are really toxic on it, I wanted to play it with him as well while he was doing it. So we did that for the Chapter 1, Season 5. There's a guy here. Yeah, we did that for Chapter 1, Season 5, and then he got bored because he decided he didn't like FPS games. So then I kept telling him to do his battle pass for him up to 100, so he unlocked everything just in case he came back. So then I ended up getting hooked on Fortnite because I was playing for me and him. And then I just kept going. And but now he's playing FPS games now. He's 13 now, 5 years later. And I can't believe he's playing FPS games now, and he won't play Fortnite still. Like, alright, I'm still playing on my own with other dads. Yeah. Hence Alexander the Dad. And hence my logo of my son being the centre of my life. My life revolves around him. Pretty much still. Right, do I need to do I hire the bot? Yeah, I might as well hire the bot and get some things. So hire the bot, crouch, back off, hold the shockwaves out, and he gives you shockwaves every time. Useful trick. It's going to bounce you out. Yeah, so if I want more shockwaves, oh, he's just giving me some more stuff, but yeah, so if I want more, all I have to do is split, hold them out, keep kind of crouch, back off to a certain distance. He'll then come forward and give me 3 more shockwaves every time. Well, it's not every time, it's like 90% of the time. Sometimes he just gives you fireflies or whatever randomly, but pretty much most of the time he'll give you what? That. Hey! Now I've got nine shockwaves. The other thing, the dual mag AR, a lot of, even pros do, I mean even like ship does, is they tap fire it at range. But when I tap fire, look, I'm not gonna touch the sticks at all. Look, it does do recoil, but if you hold it and pull down a little bit, no recoil. So even at range, I would recommend pressing and holding it. Again, that's more to do with the ascents you can get away with. Yeah, let's go and get them. Oops, people shooting over there as well. Where is he? There he is. One. Mr. Rocket Launcher coming. 166. 28. Yeah, the thing I need to be a lot more disciplined on, especially in these lobbies, is when you come up against somebody good, is whenever I'm shooting, I need to have either the bottom half of the screen covered, like this, so the bottom half is covered, or the left-hand side is covered. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to go and get him. So you got cover. I spend far too much of my time standing out in the open shooting, assuming that they're not very good or bots. And that works fine most of the time, but as soon as you then come up against a good player, you're in trouble. I need to be a lot more disciplined for that. Some of those, please. No, that's not what I asked you to do. Some of those, please. How many keys have I got? 1. Let's go and see if we can find a better shotgun. Got 2 keys now. One better shotgun, please. Purple will do. There you go. Okay, so bounty's way behind me over crankshot's way. I didn't put any augments on the last game at all, did I? Oops, but see, I put my augments on my mouse and use the side buttons so I can run at the same time and move at the same time as doing it. Because I've got so few buttons for doing stuff. Oh, Lenmatic, why do I always get... That was rubbish. What? And now I've got blimmin' salvo accidentally. How did I end up with scope salvo there? No. There's somebody else around, I saw them. How did I accidentally get scope salvo? Just ruins ARs, that gun. Okay, nothing extra there that I want. Come on, where's your buddy? Where's your buddy? The other thing I end up doing with this dual mag I hate is just reloading it constantly. You think you've reloaded it, but what you do is you press reload and you're kind of in the middle of a slide or a jump, and right, because it takes so long to reload, right at the end of the animation of sliding or jumping, you don't realise it actually cancels it. So you think you've reloaded and you actually haven't. That drives me nuts. Right, there's somebody down there. Let's go get them. We go. Oh, it's firing so slow. That augment UI is bad. Yeah, it is, you're right. The augment UI is awful. I'll take you with the challenge. So I've got 3 keys still. The island's over there, so let's go and check the lockbox if anyone can get anything full gold. Otherwise we'll head to the island. Yeah, so just a performance comment. See next to where I have 240 and it's pretty much solid. The number to the right of it that says 4.2, that's the number, that's the frame time, and the more that can say is consistent, the time between kind of frames, the frame pacing, the smoother the game will feel, and the more muscle memory you'll be able to build because it's consistent. So that's the thing that's really, really important. And RTSS controlling the FPS cap really helps that number stay the same. So that's one of the main reasons why I recommend RTSS to people. Is that for 200, that will be lower if I went up higher FPS, but it will go up and down a bit more. So I like a stable 240 and 4.2 millisecond frame time. That makes a big difference. I mean, even when the FPS goes up and down a little bit, the frame time stays exactly the same. And that's the bit for the muscle memory, which really helps you aim. Wait, I want to see. Okay, I think there's some real people here. Better focus up. Are they shooting on the island or are they shooting just down here? I think they're up on the island. I'm going up. Yep, they're up on the island. Somebody else in the air. Where is he? He's underneath. That's not good. They marked me. I took a little damage, but I'll take that. Especially for the, obviously the crown team from there. If I'm going to die anywhere in a game, it's here. The most chaotic, that's just below, isn't it? The most chaotic place on the map. I think I'm going to stick with shockwaves instead of going to that. Annoyed they didn't have better SMGs or There's still somebody underneath that wants to come up, aren't there? Because they were flying around. There we go. Flying around again. You going to come up there? Come on. There's a guy here. Oh, it fires so slow! I did that so quick, it made the noise from that, and it still hasn't gone off. Destroyed. Go back up again, and go and shoot Bender with my very slow AR. Where did Bender go? Where are you, Bender? Is he rocket launching at me? Gonna have a look. See anything? I love the way when you're actually playing, you're kind of looking over the top, and it makes no difference at all. Where's that? Oh, come on, that's right below. I don't think I can get an angle on that without actually. What should I do? Probably bots. Shall I pop down quickly and kill him and then pop back up again? Need an angle. Yeah, let's stick to the rift and that way I can get out if I need to. Where are they? Can't see him. Where is he? There he is. Right underneath me. Hey, my bot died. He's right underneath me. He's so underneath me and looks behind me. I'm going to have to go down there. Bye bye. Definitely real to be hugging the side like that. I now need to get up and need to take that rift. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. Anyone else to shoot before I go? Probably not. Right, where am I going? Ooh, I kind of want to be over here. Okay, so let's get to the top and then I can run the rest. Micah Myers skin's out tonight, is it? Yeah, I saw Rapper playing with it yesterday. So I am slightly holding down a little bit, which controls the recoil. So that's what happens if you don't press anything down. And then if I hold down a little bit, it's almost steady. It's just getting the sense right to be able to counter that. I've ruined my AR. Can I take off an augment, please? Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that at all. The other one's behind that, but I'm going to get back up first. 6 left. Come on, where? No, he's gone. Where's he gone? Gone to the right, by the sound of it. 4 left. 1 duo. Is that in up there? No, it's going to have to be the back of this, I think. Yeah, back of that probably. Okay, they're all going to die in storm, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to make this 1 bullet so I can kill someone easily. I'm going to take out some trees so that when they come this way, they have no cover. Clever. I'll get on the back of the roof on this one. Hello. Right, need to get up here. Now hold them. They're still over there by the sound of it. How many teams? 2 other teams. So if they're shooting each other, that means there's now 1 other team. Here we go. It's me versus 2. There they are. Right. I don't think they'll have the blade because I've already killed the person with the blade. I better start early because this AR has been nerfed by myself. Using the wrong augment. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I hate it. I should have killed him by the time that gets here. Yep. Bum, bum, bum. I see you. No fly zone. Another bridge. There he is. I should just go and shoot him, but oh, he's back up in the air. 93. I'll go this way next. Hey. I'm just going to run him down on heals. I should have really pushed him earlier when I did some more, but there he is. Going to be on the top of the ridge in a sec. He's waiting for his broom to recharge. Let's get up there next. Nice try, buddy. Nice try. I was playing that one safe. Wasn't going to 50-50 you. If you were on a slurp. 17. Alright. Paul, you on later, mate? Any ship and wrapper on at the moment on my friends list. I don't really fancy playing an 80s ping. Or any central ping. Because I might have a break now if you're going to get on later. So that I've had some dinner. Yeah, I think I might do that. Alrighty, that'll do for me. How long am I streaming for? Nearly 3 hours, so that's plenty. Enough content for me to fall asleep to this evening for myself when I watch it back. Insomnia cure. Yeah, I'll probably streaming it later this evening, so in a couple of hours. So anyone got any questions or anything in the meantime, just ping me on the Discord. Alrighty, bye for now. See you later.